Welcome to the first video in the Dungeons Risk series. As you can see in the title, this is actually the remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it, of the original video. I've decided to remake this video because it was literally my first video, and I did not like the original's editing, sound design, the way the script was written, and just the general feel of it. It was just really hard to watch now. And if The Last of Us can get a remaster barely a year after release, I think I can remaster my first video. Now, you're more than welcome to watch the original instead of this one. There's probably a card or something on the screen for that right now, or you could check the description. I'm sure I'll put a link in there or something. As of right now, this is being made after I've released part 7, so please, after this one, go ahead and watch the rest of the series so you can get all caught up with it for the future stuff. Without further ado, the Night Game Remake / Dungeons Risk Part 1. In 2022, when I was first starting out with the Godot game engine, my first actual sort of project was a little game that was about being a knight fighting through an endless amount of rooms to survive as long as possible against skeletons, with only the ability to slow down time for a little bit and swing a sword. I gave it the amazing and thought-provoking name, Night Game. I worked on it for just a little bit, and after I got it into a somewhat finished but still very buggy state, I got sidetracked by a different project. You know, like how basically every game developer has. And it got pushed to the wayside to make room for other projects, and I eventually forgot about Night Game. But with the release of Godot 4.0, I'm recreating it from scratch and finishing it this time, while hopefully also adding a bunch of new features that the original didn't have, with the goal of maybe eventually releasing it. Very first thing I did was make the project. Start off with a name, then I made a basic tile set and got basic movement for the player, which was a fun time to say the least, because this was my first time making a game in Godot 4, and some things are slightly different between Godot 3.4.4, which is what I had been using, and Godot 4. After I made a little room, and I was able to move the player around, I went on to adding movement animations, and once that all worked, I made a sword and an attack animation, similar to the original game. Once I had all that done, I made the mistake of getting sidetracked trying to find the window always on top setting, because I didn't like having to click in and out of the window every time I wanted to change a variable during runtime. I never even found it, even though it was right in front of me the entire time. After this, I started working on a basic enemy to fight, and I got the pathfinding to work after a while, and then I added an animated sprite with the most scuffed code I've ever seen. And after getting that all to work, I gave it a weapon in the intent to kill. But because there wasn't really a way for the player to properly die without just reloading the scene, which seemed boring to me, I started making a main menu to be sent back to if you died. And this is what it looks like. It's beautiful, isn't it? Once I had a basic enemy to fight, I figured it would be a good time to start making levels to actually play the game in, so here's me making those. Just skip to the time on screen right now if you want to skip this part. I know some people don't enjoy the best part of videos. once I had all those done, I made it so the door actually functioned and brought you to random rooms by just picking a random scene with RNG and loading it. And to finish this video off, I made a simple HUD so I can display the amount of levels you beat and the pause button. Don't worry, I know how hideous it is and it's probably being changed soon. Hint hint. And now, at this point, the game is in the state it was in when I abandoned it originally. So I'm gonna end this video here so that part 2 is where the real progress on this new project begins. I'm planning on adding a whole list of new things, like more enemy types, different playable characters, a shop and item pickup system, and a lot more levels to fight through. And since this is a remake a year and a half down the line, I can confirm that I added literally all of that and much more since the original video got posted. I sort of forgot how short this video really was. The original script was only like 500 words, which made the video not really that long. So be sure to check out the other videos in this playlist to get your fix. All in all, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I plan on remaking the second and maybe third part of this series if this goes well, because I find those ones difficult to watch as well. But for now, I'm out of here.